Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing the team that helped me climb to Legend rank in Season 11 of Pokemon Go Battle League. The team consists of a Medicham lead with NOCTOWL and Diggersby in the back, and the team was created by one of my moderators, Firestar73. This team works because a lot of teams rely on a Sableye save switch currently, so having two strong answers to it can put you in a really good position to succeed. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out my legend run in the Great League with NOCTOWL. Hopping into the first match, picking up a terrible lead Medicham into Trevenant, I immediately save switch into Diggersby and my opponent responds with Obstagoon. Things not looking great in the first match as I'm countered on the lead and on the swap. Obstagoon is running Cross Chop, which is worse for my Diggersby. I'm going to farm up and go straight for the Earthquake. This is going to do a nice amount of damage onto that Obstagoon. Fire Punch is not enough to KO from here, so I farm up to the Earthquake, but they know their counts and they fire off the second Cross Chop on the CMP tied to the Earthquake. That is unfortunate as I wasn't able to get shield advantage. I'm going to wait the clock, bring in Medicham, I'm going to shield nothing, farm all the way down, and then hope that NOCTOWL will be able to close for me in the endgame. In comes Trevenant, I bring in NOCTOWL, and the final Pokemon is Blastoise. This is definitely playable. NOCTOWL is an exceedingly bulky Pokemon, so I'm really going to be able to tank this water gun damage. All I have to do is just make sure to shield the Hydro Cannons, because Hydro Cannon would be doing quite a bit. They fire off the Hydro Cannon, I'm going to commit the shield. My goal is going to be to get both shields, and then I'm going to switch back into the Medicham to bait back out the Trevenant, because I do have some energy on my Medicham, and Ice Punch will do quite a lot of damage to that Trevenant if I'm able to land it. I commit my final shield, I'm able to reach the Sky Attack, this will be getting Blastoise's shield, and then I need to bring in Medicham. In comes Medicham, they bring back in Trevenant, but I have an Ice Punch, and two Ice Punches are going to be enough to KO. I go for the first, able to land it, farming up, looking for the second, and Trevenant is forced to throw. Seed Bomb will not KO here, they are forced to Shadow Ball, and now I just commit to the farm down with NOCTOWL. NOCTOWL is one of the best Trevenant counters in the game. We resist their standard moveset, they go for the Shadow Ball, we tank it and farm down, and we leave with the Sky Attack. Sky Attack taking down the Blastoise, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Medicham into Azumarill. This team doesn't have a hard check to Azumarill by any means, but XL Medicham can put in a ton of work in this matchup because Medicham can tank a Play Rough. Azu is going to be firing off the Play Rough, we tank it no problem, and I'm going to be firing off the Psychic. This is going to do a solid amount of damage onto that Azumarill, and I should be able to reach a second before they're able to get to their next move. I am able to reach the second, and this will be getting the Azumarill quite low. Azumarill lets it through, and they're able to reach a last second move. Honestly, I'm fine with that. I got the Azu plenty low, and now I can bring in NOCTOWL to farm down. We'll have to see what they have in the back, and they bring in Sableye, so they must be running Azu double Ghost, and our backline is about to feast. They go for the foul play. NOCTOWL shrugs off the damage and is going to be firing off a Sky Attack. Sky Attack does get the shield, so it appears they are incredibly weak to NOCTOWL in the back. They farm up a ton, and I'm going straight for the Shadow Ball. This will do more damage, and I'm able to get the shield, and now I'm going to bring in Diggersby, and in the back is the second Ghost type. It is Trevenant, and this game is over. Opponent relying on Ghost types. Our double normals are here to shut it all down. They go for the Seed Bomb. That is totally fine. XL Diggersby can tank two Seed Bombs from Trevenant and still not be in a range where it can be farmed down. So I'm in a very comfortable position here. Honestly, yeah, I don't have to shield this. I'm just going to let this go. Diggersby able to tank it. In comes Sableye. Sableye going to be firing off its energy, but they're not going to be able to Shadow Claw down Diggersby. Diggersby very safely double shielding and is going to be able to reach the Earthquake. Earthquake will be taking down the Sableye, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a very rough lead, Medicham into Sableye. I'm going to throw one counter and then save switch into NOCTOWL. The Sableye is staying in, which honestly works out pretty nicely for me, and they're going to fire off a foul play. I tank that easily, so I am going to be letting the foul play go, and then my opponent is going to respond with Altaria. It's very nice to see the Altaria here, because that should hopefully free up Diggersby to close in the endgame. I'm just going to keep farming. They are going to be firing off a Sky Attack. I should barely live this, and then I'm going to try and make it to the Shadow Ball, as Shadow Ball would do more, but I fall just short, as the Dragon Breaths are able to take me out. I still do have Ice Punch on Medicham, so I bring in Medicham, fire off the Ice Punch, and Ice Punch will take out the Altaria. In comes Sableye, and now I can bring in Diggersby, and I have to hope that with the Altaria out of the way, Diggersby will be able to close this game. They go for the foul play, I tank it, and then in the back they have Azumarill, and things are not looking great for me, as Diggersby does not like going up against the Azumarill. Thankfully, I do still have 2 shields, but these bubbles are really adding up, and it's starting to get my Diggersby quite low. I shield up the Play Rough, and I'm gonna fire off the Earthquake. I really need to get some damage off on this Azumarill, but they commit the second shield as well. Things not looking great. I switch, and I'm able to catch a Play Rough onto the Medicham. That is quite nice, because their switch clock should not be up quite yet. So I should hopefully be able to reach a move here, and I'm able to get to the Psychic. That is big, as this will get the Azu into a range where an Earthquake should be enough to take it out. They just keep farming up with the Azumarill. Diggersby goes for the Earthquake, but they switch into Sableye. A very nice play by my opponent. That's going to get the Sableye very low. We're able to farm down, and now it's going to be a race. Can Diggersby get to another Earthquake before Azumarill is able to reach another Play Rough? Diggersby able to get to the Earthquake, and that will be game over. Earthquake taking down the Azu, and that is a good game. Now we hop into the Legend set, starting Elo 2982. I lead into the Medicham mirror, which I am perfectly fine with. I go for the Psychic right away, and I do win the CMP tie, which is incredibly useful information. This should allow me to dictate switch advantage, because typically if it's a Medicham, there's often something in the back that's weak to Diggersby, so if I can win switch advantage, then I can align it, and I should be in a really good spot. They go for the Ice Punch. I'm going to let this go because this is not going to KO, and then I'm going to fire off the Psychic. This way I either get shield advantage or switch advantage. Psychic goes unshielded, and I get switch. In the back, they have Shadow Nidoqueen, and I can safely align it onto my Diggersby. Diggersby does have a dominating matchup here. I will respect the potential Earth Power, as that would do quite a lot from a Shadow Queen. In the back, they have their own Diggersby, and alignment works out perfectly, as NOCTOWL just absolutely crushes Diggersby. Diggersby is forced to go for Fire Punch, and Fire Punch is just not a particularly strong move. Diggersby is going to do its best, firing off Fire Punch after Fire Punch. I'm going to farm up to the back-to-back Sky Attacks on NOCTOWL and start unleashing some damage. I actually get a shield from the Diggersby. Diggersby trying to keep itself as healthy as possible. I fire off the second Sky Attack. They're able to tank that, no problem. And they have built up a ton of energy here. I am expecting a potential switch back into the Nidoqueen that I have to be careful of. There it is! I bring back in Diggersby, and I go straight for the Earthquake. Earthquake gets the shield from the Nidoqueen, but at this point, I should be in a commanding position to close out this game. I don't have to shield this move whatsoever. I let it go. It's a Poison Fang, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Medicham into Alolan Ninetales. This is a problem Pokemon for this team, especially when you catch it on the lead. Oftentimes, Alolan Ninetales have ghost types in the back, in which case, my Medicham basically has no use. So I'm just going to sack the Medicham here, and then hope that my backline is going to be able to clutch this match for me. That's basically all I can really do if I catch a Ninetales on the lead. They're going to be firing off a lot of Weather Balls here. I tank the first. They are going to be able to reach a second, so I go for the extra Mud Shot. I will be able to survive this and then go for the Fire Punch. Fire Punch is not quite enough to KO Ninetales from this range, but it should put it into a range where I can snipe with Wing Attacks from NOCTOWL. I bring in NOCTOWL, and I'm able to farm them down, and in the back, it is not Ghost types, it's an Umbreon. So at this point, this game is looking like it could be over, because Umbreon is exceedingly tanky. NOCTOWL has a ton of bulk as well, but ideally, I was needing something glassy or a ghost type in the back, and a neutral matchup, even with a 1 shield advantage, I may be able to take out the Umbreon, but odds are I probably can't take out whatever they have in the back. They're going to be firing off another foul play. I am going to let this through. NOCTOWL does tank that foul play quite nicely. Umbreon just keeps spamming out foul play after foul play, and I just have to start shielding. So I will commit the shield. I'll overfarm quite a bit and then go for the Sky Attack. This will be taking out the Umbreon, and then we'll get to see what they have in the back, but they commit the shield, and suddenly that gives me hope. What if they're actually weak to NOCTOWL in the back? That would be incredible, but it's an azumarill in the back. We get baited, and unfortunately, there is no win con, and I concede the match. Great lead in the next match, Medicham into Shadow Wall Rain. Absolutely fantastic. Opponent save switches into their own Medicham, and I'm going to stay in here to start just so I can fire off a Psychic. Psychic will do a ton of damage or be able to grab a shield. It does a ton of damage, and now I bring in NOCTOWL. I tank any one move here, so I'm not going to be shielding up, and they go for the power-up punch, meaning odds are they're probably power-up punch and Psychic. I shield here because if I shield the Psychic, which I do, I'm going to be able to farm down before they reach another Psychic. Medicham fires off a last second move, but this is only a power-up punch, so I'm able to tank that no problem. And if they bring back in that Shadow Wall Rain, this Shadow Wall Rain is not going to have a great day because I have so much energy on my NOCTOWL. I overfarm and I fire off the Sky Attack just before they're able to get to a move. Sky Attack gets them low and they're forced to throw because they would get Wing Attack down. I'm just going to let this go. I should be able to take care of it with Medicham, and we'll have to see what they have in the back. And it's a Shadow Nidoqueen, and we are in business here. Nidoqueen fires off a move, and I'm going to let the first one through. Even if they do go straight for the Earth Power, that's totally fine, as I'm able to tank it. And then I'm going to go for the Fire Punch bait. Fire Punch gets the shield, and I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake here. I need to guarantee this final shield, and then the game will be over. We do get the final shield, and we're in a great position. They go for a move. I'm going to let this through. They have to Earth Power to KO here. They go for the Fang. It's not enough. And we reach another Earthquake. Earthquake taking down the Nidoqueen. And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, setting Medicham into Empoleon, a very nice lead. Opponent is going to stay in, throw a Waterfall, and then save switch into Mandibuzz. And this immediately has me worried that it could be Empoleon Double Flyer, because if that's the case, their entire team does very well against my Diggersby. I'm able to get some nice chip damage with the Ice Punch, and then I bring in NOCTOWL. The bad news is that this Mandibuzz is running Dark Pulse, and Dark Pulse does hit harder than Foul Play typically would. They go for another Dark Pulse, and it appears that a third Dark Pulse may be enough to take me out. I'm going to go for the Sky Attack, but Mandibuzz is extremely tanky. Mandibuzz able to shake off that Sky Attack damage like it's nothing and fire off another move. I'm going to be shielding up. It is the Dark Pulse, and then I'm going to go for an ambitious farm down. NOCTOWL able to get the farm down. That is big. They bring back in Empoleon, and I'm going to be firing off the Shadow Ball. This will do a lot of damage if it lands, which it does. NOCTOWL able to reach the last second Sky Attack as well, and hopefully this will be grabbing a shield, and it does. Empoleon is going to be able to reach a Drill Peck here, but my Medicham is very healthy, so I'm able to absorb that no problem, and in the back, it is Double Flyer with Altaria. I just need to be able to get to the Double Ice Punch, and then it's going to be Diggersby versus the world. We get the shield, and we get the second Ice Punch. Those XL candies on Medicham coming in clutch. We're able to land it, and now we bring in Diggersby. This is one of Diggersby's worst meta matchups. Can it overcome the Altaria? I'm probably going to need 3 moves to KO, and I don't think 3 Fire Punches are going to do it, so I probably need 2 Fire Punches and an Earthquake. I build up a lot of energy, and I'm going for the first Fire Punch here. Fire Punch lands. They go for the catch, and all they do is feed Diggersby more energy. Back in comes Altaria. I'm going for Fire Punch number 2, and then I think I'm going to need to get to an Earthquake. Fire Punch lands. We reach the Earthquake, and that will be game over. Diggersby taking down Altaria, and that is a good game. Hopping into the final match, setting Medicham into another Alolan Ninetales. These leads are always very tough. Like last time, I'm going to stay in, play it out, and just go straight for the Psychic. I really hope they no-shielded because that will make this Alolan Ninetales a lot easier to handle. Psychic goes unshielded. Ninetales is able to farm down. I'm going to bring in Diggersby, and they save switch into a Sableye. And this clues me into the fact that it's either a second Ghost type in the back or it could be their own Diggersby. I'm just going to stay in here and play this out. I go for the Earthquake, and I'm able to get a shield. I don't have to shield a thing in this matchup. Even if they go for the return, Diggersby is able to tank that no problem, and I'm going to fire off with another Earthquake. This will be getting the Sableye quite low. Sableye doesn't want to give up that final shield. I go for the Fire Punch, and I lose CMP. They have to go for another return to take me out here, which they do, and I'm just going to get an energy lead on NOCTOWL. NOCTOWL able to farm down. We'll have to see what's in back. They bring in the Ninetales. This tells me it could be Diggersby. Come on, please. We shield the Weather Ball. It's Diggersby in the back. We get Legend. And that is a good game. And now I will be claiming that 4-1 set, catching the Noibat with one of the worst throws you have ever seen in your entire life. We catch it, claim the set, and we get Legend. For those who are still looking to make the push to Legend this season, this is a team that I would recommend for climbing. When I started using it, I was about 2,500 elo or so, and over the course of a week, I was able to rock it all the way up to Legend. So if you're looking for a team to make a push in the Great League, this is definitely a team that I would recommend. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.